get going. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut here with Mike Kelly. We're Real Estate Jerky Daily.
And I've had some liquid cocaine this morning, so I'm ready to go.
All right.
That would be coffee with a little bit of blackness in it. Let's look at...
What's blackness?
I don't put anything in coffee.
Oh, you just regular coffee.
Let's look at these state numbers,
Wow,
shall
you're
we?
in right into it. Good morning, everybody.
Yeah,
How's it
let's
going?
go. I told you I had some cocaine. Here we go. I think we talked about this. No, we didn't. This is new. So
this is like, yeah. So
this is week ending March 22nd.
It just seems that way because this whole week ran together for us.
It was like boom. 508 closed sales per day in the state of California for 1 week. 595 pending sales per day and 772 listings per day. Last week were like 705, if I remember. So we're increasing some inventory, which is kind of nice. More realtors are doing things, which is a little bit nice to see. I did some stuff too. Woohoo! But we got positive attitudes all the way across the board down south. 27.5% said sales will be up. 18.8% said prices will be up. God, imagine that. Prices up in California.
Well, yeah, they are. There's I got an article about that about LA later.
Okay, and then 43.1% said listings will be up, which is by the typical. 772 and the 705 the last 2 weeks. So that's 1,400 and what would that be? 1,477 new listings in 2 weeks.
Wow,
how cool is that?
That's pretty good. It's getting busier.
That's the news. It's busier. I'm busier. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's nothing worse than being slow.
I'm crooked though.
Well, no, you're not.
Okay, I'm crooked.
No, you're not.
I'm crooked. Look.
Okay, well, that's a bad thing to say if you're crooked.
Oh, I'm not crooked that way.
Okay, just clarifying there, sir.
My back is bent.
All right, here we go. 10 years at 4.28 because we came down a little bit. We opened at 4.36, so we're actually doing better.
Yeah.
You're looking also at the fact that I was just seeing I had that nice spam call. Mortgage-backed securities are up 16 basis points, and people are going, how come that is, Ed? How come it's that way?
Yeah.
Well, February's PCE inflation came in at mixed signals, meaning the headline PCE rose by 0.3%, matching the expectation, held it steady at 2.5% year over year. However, core PCE, which strips out food and energy prices, rose 0.4 month over month, a bit hotter than the 0.3 estimate.
Wow,
pushing the year over year PCE to 2.8%, just above the forecasted 2.7%. So
those
it's
are
just,
a lot of numbers.
It's just soaring.
Yeah. Surging and soaring.
I mean, the PCE is the only thing we had to come out today. And
yeah.
So basically, the bottom line is it's got missed signals because we're watching. I'd say this: we're watching it too much. You understand what I mean? We're just like so focused on it.
Yeah.
Yes. The overall trend of inflation is concerning. The year-over-year 12-month rate, like I said, was that, but it really means inflation is going in the wrong direction potentially, and that's why. But I'm just shocked that the actual market's doing better. I'm gonna get into some more stuff, but just so we know, next week is Jobs Week. That's correct. It's always Jobs Week when it's usually close to the first of the month.
Tuesday is the first of the month, huh?
Well, I think something like that.
Monday's to All Fools Day.
Yeah. So Tuesday, JOLTS.
My favorite.
ISM Manufacturing, Wednesday's ADP Employment Report, Mortgage Applications, Thursday's Initial Jobless Claims, ISM Services Job Report Strategy, and BLS Jobs Report Friday. And you're going to have to read those all on your own because I won't be here.
I know you're going to be gone.
From the 3rd on, I will not be here for a while.
Well, you can read a couple on the 1st and the 2nd.
Huh?
Did I lose you?
No, I'm here. I was reading a text. Because I'm trying to correlate between the concrete guy and the landscape guy to make sure the pipes are under the concrete so that, because you get one time at this.
Yeah, you don't want to pour the concrete first and do the boring.
No, supposedly it's been taken care of, but I'm more worried. No, you don't see them. They're laying out there because they're coming back on Monday to do that because I don't think they're coming today because they needed a break.
Okay.
They got tired of something taking 3 hours that should take like 10 minutes because of all the damn roots. Yeah, they told my neighbor, oh man,
these roots are killing us.
Yeah, I almost started crying. All right, so they're talking about LA rental market is squeezing. The Los Angeles rental market is under pressure following January's wildfires. Over 16,000 structures were lost, displacing thousands, including renters. Aftermath, competition is fierce. The Turner Center report that over half of LA renters are already cost burdened, spending more than 30% of their income on rent.
Okay.
And more than that. So while rental prices have stayed relatively stable with an average LA rent at $2,748, even slightly over the year, $47, competition is spiking more. I don't know. There's supposed to be good information here. I don't know. So far, I haven't read
That
any.
didn't sound good.
Well, bottom line is they're saying it's harder to find a place down there. Shocking.
Sure.
You know, when you burn so many things, you're not going to find. You're going to have to go out, and that's why I'm saying the market's going to get better, crazier down there because people are going to get money and they're going to have to go somewhere because they're not going to be rebuilding their properties. They're going to sell this stuff and move.
Hey, they're going to come to the second best place to live in California, which is Oakdale.
Yeah. The rent spree report says 13 to 14% more rental applications per property compared to last year. So they're getting more, and so that's what's two more. Total rental market activity jumped 60% year to date. So that would be an increased number. But still, I mean, I was expecting them to say it was going to be 200% higher or this or that. But I think one of the problems is they can't overprice the rentals. You know, I mean, they're worried about pricing because you got the governor suing people. Suing everybody. So what are you going to do?
Well, I read an article this morning that the governor, our fearless governor, doesn't like the way things are going with the United States. So he's thinking about seceding from the United States and just pulling California and,
why don't he just
being a part of
without
Mexico.
us? Why don't he just go without us?
Yeah, he's out of office in a year and a half. So it would take longer than that for that to happen. The guy's a moron anyway. He's just, what do we call him? A thief.
Yeah,
like
well,
taxman.
And so what I did, maybe this article would be better. I read an article that was talking about in 2024, U.S. home buyers made record-setting down payments. The average down payment hit $29,900 or 14.4% of the purchase price, which is the highest on record. This trend is fueled by pandemic-era savings, home equity, and shift towards higher-end properties.
Right.
Sales of home price above $750,000 rose 7.4% in 2024, while sales under that price declined. Shocking, huh?
Yeah.
Even smaller down payments saw growth, with 30 percentile down payment up 60.5% year over year. That means more than 30%. Saw more. We saw 6.5% of that.
So it's like we're moving back in time, where there used to the buyer always had skin in the game. Right?
Well, yes, but also what I'm seeing is people with more money are buying than people with no money.
Right.
Shocking how that is. Yeah.
And we still keep talking about the affordable gap. Make housing affordable. Okay, build a lot of it.
So I don't know if you know this, but now if you're an illegal alien, you cannot buy an FHA loan. You can't have an FHA loan. I didn't know they allowed them to have an FHA loan.
Well, you remember, like the second year of Biden's administration, they were pulling some strings, and I think that was part of the Dream for All.
Well, they tried to get those in the Dream for All. That was the guy, congressman down in LA, trying to get it on to allow illegal immigrants to
purchase property. Mexico didn't even let us do that for a long time, and we went in how you say it, legally.
Yeah, you couldn't own.
You
property
couldn't own the land.
Yeah, that's correct. You couldn't own the property. You had to be with somebody who actually lived there,
or they would give you like a 100-year lease on the land, but you didn't own it. So it reverted back to Mexico after the 100-year lease.
So California to Florida migration pipeline. Guess what? There's one unexpected trend following LA wildfires. I would say this is a normal trend because people are fed up. Some Californians are heading to Florida, especially in the luxury market. These are people from LA who had their houses burnt. Brokers are reporting an increased interest in 10 million plus properties from former LA residents seeking faster rebuilding options, lower taxes, and less uncertainty, and less idiot mayors.
Good.
I added that in.
Look.
What?
Our buddy Chuck, he hasn't been around for a while, but he says we have brand new apartments and townhouses going to open in June. 20. What?
Chuck, you have to pay for this.
2,300 square feet and two townhouse.
Huh? One bedroom, one bath apartment.
2,300
square feet, and a 2-bedroom, 2-bath townhouse, 1,100 square feet for $3,400 a month. We are 60 minutes from LA.
Wow. Oh, and then he says,
good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys.
Oh, good. Thanks for getting my information. We normally charge $10,000 a month for you to be able to put information here.
Well, we'll get them. I'll get them in, I think it's May. No, April.
All right, so that's really all I have for today, which is basically saying that the market is really doing better.
Yeah.
The LA wildfires, it was horrible. People are leaving California to go to Florida because they're tired of the stupidity. Mel Gibson's trying to run he's the top runner right now for the Republican Party. And my wife's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And some people said, I watched
some of his
Gunfield
craziness may come up and
bite
him.
Yeah, some of the stuff he said, and then other stuff. And I was watching Gunfield the other night, and what's the big black guy's name? I want to say terrorist. It's not terrorist, but anyway, he was saying how he got a woman hurt him, and so he went crazy there for a while. And we've all had a woman hurt us at one point, and Tyrus, that's his name.
Yeah,
and so give him a break. You know what I mean? We all look at the lady from the not ADP, but the one who was in front of Congress the other day. What's the NPR?
Oh,
and how she, they said all the tweets she said. She's like, I don't remember saying those. I don't remember that. It's right here in your thing. You said it.
Yeah. Rents are crazy. I mean,
it's just to show
rents are crazy.
Yeah, how crazy rents are here. Yeah, we understand that. That's why we talked about LA, how the renting market is getting crazy, and that's that can truly
in Lancaster.
Well, how many people lived in Lancaster, Palmdale area, and traveled into LA. When I worked in LA. A long time now.
Yeah.
They would have buses come in for from Blue Cross or Blue Shield, whoever it was in Thousand Oaks, to bring people in from there because people would live there to be able to work into the city
and to be able to afford.
Yeah, right? and then they had a downturn and it went back up, and then downturn and went back up, and so that's people can't afford LA will move there. Yeah. Anyway, anything else you got?
No, because you got to get going. You got a doctor's appointment.
I got to get there in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, make it a great day. We'll be back here on Monday. If you want to listen to us on the weekend, we are on the radio, KFIV 1360. If you can't listen to AM radio, that's okay. Just get the iHeart app and download it on your phone, and then you can find a Power Talk 1360 KFIV, Real Estate Jerky. If you don't want to listen to us live, you can listen to us on anywhere you find your favorite podcast at on Monday. We normally turn these into podcasts every day. Except for this week because I was too busy and I couldn't get them up as of Wednesday on. They will get up though today.
I'll see you, Chuck. I'm only going to be there the Wednesday.
All right. Make it a great day.
Bye.
Have a great weekend. Bye.